I started managing Spank. I'll be everywhere with bro. Anytime we needed to do something, we worked on our first cookbook together. You know what I mean, for the brand. I just was super involved with everything we are doing, and then one day I seen a food truck, and like he never really Spank wasn't. I seen a food truck, and I just went to the dude and like, man, how much you selling this truck? Because he had a for sale sign. I'm like, you selling this or you? And he's like, man, I'm selling it. This is a little on into the Trap Kitchen, you know, after we've been doing stuff. But I just called bro, like, bro, I bought a food truck. We opening a food truck. You know what I mean? And he believes so. Spank believes in me as much as I believe in him. So it wasn't like, why you buy a trucker? What are you? He's like, all right, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, let me know what we doing, what we need to do. You want me to start building the menu? How much is it going to be to do? You know, it was just fast. He's like, because he knows, like, if I'm doing something, we going 100. So in the midst of him asking me to come on board, we went to New York. That was my first time really, like, managing the brand. Then things started picking up as we came back to the West Coast. We're working. Then we had to go back out to New York. TI for Fashion Week. TI brand Coup. They were having a party there in collaboration with Patrick Ewing when the shoe came back out. When they redropped the Patrick Ewings, they had a party for that in Fashion Week, and we were like the caterers, but it was like everything was based around that. Like our logos were everywhere. So when it showed up, I was like, damn, we're not just doing food here. Like, this is about us. And like all of these people were there. So many people were there. And we had relationships with different people, you know, because me and the music and doing music, Spanking them, we're starting to do like a lot of like different YouTube videos and stuff like that. So like people were showing up. I called some of my people from when I was doing music, and I called them like, hey man, I'm in Manhattan. We're doing woo woo. Come down here and check this out. And some of them were pulling up, and one of my guys pulled up, and he was sort of big like in the music industry, and he pulled up, and people were like, the hell is he doing here? You know, and he's like, I don't know. My boy told me to come. I don't even know who these people are. And then so he just was talking to people in there, and like he just kept saying, you got my boy Mikey. This is, you know. And the more he was talking, he was just bringing people to us. And this lady, and I would tell him about, you know, the story of Trap Kitchen. And this lady came, and it was me and News, and she just was like, oh, how you loving New York, and you know, how you like New York? And he was like, man, I love it. She's like, if anything, you could make anything happen while you're in New York City, what would you do? And he was like, I'll go on the Breakfast Club. And she left and walked away and came back and was like, can you tell Charlamagne your story right quick? Da-da-da-da. And he talked to him on the phone. He like, man, can y'all show up tomorrow at 6 a.m.? And I'm like, what? Like,
that's how y'all got plugged in with that? That's a crazy story.
Just like that. But the story was so impactful that he was like, what, 2 Bloods? I've never seen that before. So Charlamagne was like, yeah, have him here at 6 a.m. in the morning, you know what I mean? And from there, it was just like, we went back to our to the Airbnb we was at, and we was tripping like, bro, we about to go on the Breakfast Club in the morning? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is crazy, bro.
And also when the Breakfast Club was the Breakfast Club. Like, Breakfast Club. Like,
you know what I mean?
Real.
So, like, we were sort of tripping about it. Spank whipped up breakfast and everything for him. Like, I don't even think we went to sleep that night. You know what I mean? And from there, it was like, we did Breakfast Club. From there, we was on Sway. We did everything. Like, we just got to moving and walking around. It was just like off word of mouth. And everybody always like, y'all got some kind of PR? It was like, nah, just the story was so impactful. And it was us like actually talking and being ourselves that people like, oh yeah, bring them on the show. So like, you know, we showed up to Breakfast Club 6 a.m. Spank go everywhere with a blue rag. So they sitting there looking like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean?
What wrong? Like,
One thing about Spank, he's always going to be him no matter where he at. You know, so him and News showed up, and you know, from there shit just took off. We went and did Breakfast Club and Ebro, and you know what I mean, it was just on fire, and the story is just built and built and built, and we're still building the story and the brand.
Damn. Yo. I think for me it's just the pivots and the believability, because, you know, off camera we were kind of talking about, you know, certain things put you in certain positions. And I'm just like mad curious, because when it comes to like music in the game, I feel like a lot of people don't understand. Like, they're just going to go full force. Like, I got to do this. Like, what was like that whisper for your own self of like, all right, I actually need to pivot from my music? I think that's the gem that I want people to hear. That's
I feel
tough.
like for me, like I told you, I'm really like a selfless person.
Yeah.
Like if I rock with you and you my people,
Yeah.
like I want to see you win. Like so, I want to see you win. And like I think me watching Spank really put his all into something. Like and man, Spank is one of the smartest people I know. Like real. That dude is smart as hell. Like. Smart, you know what I mean? So, like beyond smart, like past what people would ever perceive how smart that guy is.
Yeah,
one of the smartest people I know. So, I mean, I think me watching him try to figure something out and just some stuff wasn't clicking for him that I knew I could make click was like I gotta do. You know what I mean? Like I can't sit and watch my bro sign another contract with somebody that ain't right. Damn. You know what I mean? I can't sit and watch my bro like keep going investing in and not being what he wants it to be when I can easily say, hey bro, if we do X, Y, and Z, it'll pan out this way. You know what I mean? And that's how it worked. So I just was like, it was more of a selfless thing. Like I'd already achieved so much. I'd achieved a lot with music. You know, I gotta say
say that.
I've been on tours, you know, where I gotta be on the tour bus and ride around the country. I done been able to fly across.
Talk your shit.
You know,
no, it's real.
Fly across the country. I done been able to, you know what I mean? Like I done did some shit with music to where it was like I feel like I achieved enough that I was like, I never really cared about being famous because I know what comes with fame because I got friends that's been famous. I got family members that like I know what comes with that. And I never wanted to be super in a box like that. And I think sometimes being from Portland and it being so small, you're just in a box, you know? And I would always just been like Mikey Vegas the rapper, you know? And it's like, I think I'm more than just a rapper.
And I think for me, no diss to any of the guests or musical artists that we've had on here. Like, I want y'all to achieve y'all dream and do that. But like, never once have I sat down and done an interview with someone who's been like, I really want to do this, and then just have like, nah, that's not for me. Yeah, and I think that is just like a beautiful thing because like once like people go for a dream, they're afraid of that pivot. And I'm just, you just embrace that. That's so cool. Yeah, that's hella, and you just know the monster of fame.
Yeah. And
I was gonna say also, bro, like it takes a certain like person to be able to say, okay, like I have this, like I could apply this same hustle to a different game if you catch my drift. And I know like with people you mentioned, whether it be like Nuts or just the little I know of your pops and like some of the stuff he does, like you have you built in with a certain savvy, you know what I mean?
Yeah. With my pops, really, like a lot of people like my pops is man, I learned so much from my dad, bro. Like, you know, I learned good and bad from my pops. You know, he was a person that my pops always showed me everything. And there's so much to my dad that people don't know that I was privy to be able to know. You know what I mean? Like I watched my dad. Yeah, a lot of people know him as a hustler, but I know him as a serial entrepreneur. Like, you know what I mean? Like I watched my dad as a kid. Like people, Phil Knight, my dad used to sell Phil Knight his cars, like Phil Knight and Penny. You know what I mean? My goddad's Jerome Kersey. You know what I mean? So I've been around a lot of different stuff as a kid. You know what I mean? Like I've seen the good and the bad. You know, I watched my mom get up every day. She clocked in and went to work. You know what I mean? My mom raised me and my sister. You know what I mean? So like I've gotten to see so much that it's like I feel like I've been able to see the struggle and see the upside of shit. Yeah. So I've never really like a lot of shit that would move a lot of other people wouldn't really move me.
Oh, okay. No, that's just...
You get what I'm saying? And I feel like even for me, there's always so many changes in my life because I'm always constantly growing. So like, we could talk about Trap Kitchen, and it's like, Trap Kitchen is just one small part of what I've tried to accomplish in life. And it's like, once we accomplish that, it's like we're on to the next thing. And that's why we're at where we're at today. And the shit we're doing now is because like we built that brand. We showed that we can take something that's ours. We never had to sell it to nobody. We could have been sold the company and been, you know, well off and doing all that. But we're staying grinding. We're staying true to what's us. We know if we sell the company, we sell the culture. We can't sell the culture. You feel what I'm saying? So everything's not always like a super money motivated or the look I'm gonna get from it. It's just like for me, I get the win on the inside because I'm like, we did that. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you gotta let a story tell itself, and you know, sometimes things don't go according to plan. And at this time, y'all, we're gonna push the commercial break, and we're gonna be right back.